Okay, context. A few months ago, my husband Jay became friends with this girl S. He hangs out with her a decent amount of the time, once a week to every other week-ish, which is decent given our work schedules. I have never met her, nor have I been invited to. It's been mentioned that she wants to meet me, however plans are never made and I'm not invited when he goes. He says he's also hanging out with her boyfriend, but again, I've never met these people. A few things that really rub me the wrong way. He's been doing a lot for her and gave her our space heater, which I have no problem with him being helpful or kind, but it seems that he tries to solve it whenever she has an issue. I asked about donating the Nintendo Switch that we literally never use and has sat in a drawer for years to a child in need, and he said no because he told us maybe she could borrow it sometime, and he can't go back on his word that she could maybe borrow it sometime. However, he promised an incredibly close friend of mine that she could for sure have our old Xbox as a Christmas gift, and he's fine going back on that for me to donate that instead. Also, every single time we've gotten in a fight since he met her, he's stormed out the house and run to her place. He does not return for hours and does not contact me at all while he's gone. I only know where he is because we have iPhones and I have his location. After making a huge deal about spending Christmas with me, he spent less than 2 hours with me and went to a party with her that I wasn't invited to and was gone all afternoon/night. I spoke to him about all of these points and said I was uncomfortable, and he swore nothing was going on, but apparently turned right around and told her what we talked about. Because she's my friend, of course I told her. And A, this makes him more sus like you got your story straight, and B, now it's gonna be weird with me and her if we meet, not that I even want a relationship with a female who runs to my husband every time she has a problem. He has other female friends whom I adore and does none of this shit with them, so this is not just me hating other women or some dumb shit. Am I crazy for being uncomfortable? Especially considering he doesn't tell me what they talk about but immediately turned around and told her about a private conversation he and I had? Last thing I found out today, she's single. Apparently she dumped her boyfriend last night. Guess who she came to first? I want to trust him, but I also don't want to be stupid and end up more upset/hurt. An absolute worst case scenario, if something is going, I sure as hell don't want an STD. I met this guy on Tinder in November 2023. We went on some dates, and I thought we were in a relationship after about 3 weeks, but when we had that discussion, he told me he was talking to other people because we had never explicitly said we were exclusive. I told him that, for me, we were exclusive and I wanted a relationship. He said he wanted the same. In March 2024, he told me he felt the relationship was taking a lot of his energy and preventing him from focusing on his goals, and that I didn't care enough about his future. We met with the intention of breaking up, but he eventually said he didn't want us to break up. This made me afraid that he could leave me at any time, so I decided to go back to my hometown for 10 days. When I returned, he told me he had lost trust in me because he felt I ran away at the first sign of trouble, but we continued being together. In June, I had to leave for my hometown because my father was hospitalized and things between us weren't going very well anymore, so I wanted to leave anyway. Still, we decided to try and make the relationship work, even though I would be gone for 2 months, July and August. In early July, he told me we should break up. We did, and after a month with no contact, he called me in August, and we started talking again. I was planning to return in September, and about a week before I came back, we decided to give things another try. When I returned, about a week later, he told me he was expecting some cousins at his place and it would be a family thing, etc. I called to say goodnight, and a girl answered his phone. She told me they had been seeing each other casually since September 2023, before he even met me. She said that in December, he told her he was in a relationship and they stopped talking, but in March, he told her he was single again, and they resumed talking. In total, they met about 10 times because she's from another city. She would come to his city, and they would go out to eat, take walks, and then go to a hotel, etc. After finding this out, he came to my house, we argued, and for some reason, we decided to try again. 2 weeks later, I found out that he had also cheated on me with escort girls he paid to meet. He promised never to do it again, and I somehow managed to forgive him. However, because I couldn't trust him anymore, I eventually told him I wanted to break up because I couldn't take it. I blocked him everywhere, but he sent a message to my sister saying he was outside my house and wanted to talk. He told me he understood how wrong his actions were and realized he could lose me. So, I gave him another chance, and things were fine for a while. Over the holidays, we both went to our families for Christmas. Now that we're back, I checked his phone and found out that one day before I returned, he met with another escort girl. Honestly, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't feel angry or anything, but part of me wonders if I can get over this. It's been a day since I found out, and I keep thinking about it. He told me he was going to hang out with some friends today, and until he sent me a picture to prove it, I was thinking maybe he didn't actually go to his friends. I don't know what to do. He's also started drinking more since September. I'd really appreciate your advice, but I don't want sarcastic comments. I need someone who can understand this situation and how hard it is for me to leave this relationship. Also, in this city, I have no one. I'm far away from my family, and I only have 2 friends here whom I don't know very well. I have no friends at work either, so this is definitely one of the reasons I'm not leading the relationship. I'm 34F, happily married to my husband, 37M. We've been together over 8 years, and he is the love of my life. One of my best friends, 34F, has been unlucky in love and had some turbulent relationships with men over the last 8 years. She had been with her current boyfriend, 31M, 2.5 years, and my husband and I thought we got on really well with him. It started last year. We had been on a night out, we'd all been quite drunk, and I have a hazy memory of my friend's BF telling me we'd be really good together. I vaguely recall brushing it off as a passing comment at the time. I woke up the next day and recalled the strange encounter. I told my husband as it didn't sit well with me. My husband didn't think it was anything, and we both put it down to us all having too much to drink. However, a similar thing happened again in the summer. I was invited over for dinner. My granddad had died and I was trying to write a eulogy for the funeral. My husband was working, so my friend said she would cook me tea and listen. We had a few wines and she fell asleep. I was finishing my glass and getting ready to leave, and her BF turns to me and says, "We'd be really good together," and then essentially suggests we sleep together. He had also been drinking, but I was shocked and then felt very uncomfortable. I reminded him that I'm married, I love my husband, and said I thought he was good with my friend. He immediately apologized, said he didn't mean it, and that he's very sorry. I said it's okay, maybe a misunderstanding. I booked a taxi, we awkwardly hugged, and I left. I told my husband when I got home. He wasn't best pleased and now believes me. We'd been out since a few times and there were no issues. It was like it never happened. However, this weekend I felt a bit uncomfortable. He was sat next to me at the pub, kept brushing his knee against mine. He might have even touched my leg at one point. He didn't say anything, and maybe wasn't intentional, but I'm now on high alert. It only happens when we get left alone. My friend and husband are social smokers, so go outside a lot, and when we're all drinking. My husband has suggested we just keep a close eye on him when we're out and don't say anything unless something happens that I can prove / if he's there to step in. I don't want to lose my friend by telling her about his behavior when it'll certainly be denied if approached about it. Moral dilemma: I'm not sure whether to pretend it's not happened and keep my nose out of their business. TLDR, my friend's BF keeps hitting on me when we've been out drinking if we're left alone. There's never any witnesses and it's making me feel uncomfortable, but I don't want to lose my friend.